Hello and welcome to Stampscapes 101 Quick Cards. We're going to make a quick and easy reflection card, but hopefully it's nice and dynamic. All right, I've already pre-cut my components here. We have a piece of white cardstock, half page. We're going to fold it in half and make it a quarter page. All right. I just eyeball it. I mean, you can use a bone, folder or something like that if you want to. I usually don't bother. And then I have a piece of printable vinyl holographic sticker paper. That's always a mouthful when you say that. You can also use holographic cardstock on this one, like a Recollections or something like that. And then you have a silver foil. It's very mirrored, okay? And that's going to go like that. So you're going to make this reflected type of element for your piece. You can do all kinds of things with reflection cards that are really dynamic and kind of involve movement. It's almost like they're moving, like three-dimensional, but they're really not. You're just doing this quick fold like this, and you're taking advantage of this fold in here. And the fact that this is mirrored is giving it that movement like that. So we're talking about quick and easy stuff here. Okay, so we're going to start off with this mirrored piece right here. And it's important that you use compatible inks. So on something like this, if you don't, a lot of you know about kind of permanent inks and things like that on non-porous surfaces like this. Okay, it's probably a little bit porous, but for all intents and purposes, when it comes to crafting, it's basically non-porous. So you're going to want to use more of a permanent style of ink. Okay, there's different brands out there. And if you're curious about it, you just have to do a test print on something, a smaller piece of this if you get a pack of it. All right, but I'm going to use StazOn, all right? And this area down here below is going to represent my foreground. So I'm going to want to stamp some kind of larger imagery on it. Closer imagery to us, okay? I mean, you can do smaller imagery too, but it's just not going to push depth as much. All right. Okay, so this is the rocks, the Pines and Rocks stamp. Get a good impression of it right here. And you have our trees like that. It's black against this silver, so it doesn't show up as much, but you'll see what it looks like when it's reflecting that top area. Ink up more than you think you'll need on this stamp. Get it stamped out like this. Leave some space in between here so that we can see, the things that are going on, the reflections up there. So I usually, on my mirror cards, I like stamping something reasonably tall on the left and right side, okay? Now this StazOn ink really stamps beautifully on this type of paper, but when you're stamping with an ink, it's wet of course, and it's stamping on a non-porous surface. When you stamp down, it's easy to kind of skew it a little bit because it's slippery in that contact area. When we're stamping on a paper, paper's absorbing the ink. Okay, but this is just staying all on the surface. It's especially true, or important with kind of your smaller stamps, I find. It's easy for me to go like this and to move it a little bit. So do a couple practice ones again, on a different piece of paper. Or on another piece of foil, I should say. Have a, make one of, a piece of this when you get a pack of it and have like a scrap piece. Okay, so this is kind of bowed a little bit, so I hold it down with my finger so I'm not pressing down and having it bow on me. So I don't have paper movement, in other words, okay? Go for a decent amount of impression on here. This is not the type of foil that I've been using either. This is a real mirrored type, so on some types of foils, or I wouldn't say foils, but the metallic cardstocks, well, maybe foils too. If you hold down for too long with the StazOn ink, it dries, and then you pull up, and then you're removing some of the foil, but this mirrored one is kind of coated, so you don't run into that. I have a link for everything in the description section. Okay, this is a quick card, but it's not hurried or anything, as you can see. This is a piece of the printable vinyl holographic sticker paper. Remember, it's printable vinyl. That's what they call it, okay? On this one, it's possible to use a StazOn ink, but it really grabs it aggressively. I think everyone should have some Brilliance pigment ink because you can use it on practically anything. On some things that you print on, if it's a foil, like if it's this area down here, you have to spray seal it. But on the printable, you don't have to. Okay, so I'm going to just stamp half of this, okay? This area here represents all the water, so the water starts right here and down, okay? So I'm going to stamp this. Now, if you're off by like a 1/4 inch or something like that, it's not going to matter. You can see I'm stamping like right here to right here, so it's going right across right here. And allow that ink to transfer nicely. Peel off like that. Now, sometimes with the StazOn, it's really aggressive, like I said, and sometimes I don't get a good impression because it dries and it comes off on the rubber, you know, so you have to kind of, I don't know, it takes, you have to get kind of the timing down right. With this one, Brilliance on printable vinyl, it's really, really user-friendly. Just get a pad of Brilliance. Some people say, hey, I've already got a black pigment ink pad. I don't want to get into them. I got a VersaFine Clair already. That's an oil-based pigment ink, okay? Which is, I love it. It's great for a lot of different applications, okay? But this one's more of like a universal one, okay? So you can use it on practically anything as opposed to kind of more of a specialty type of ink that's good on like a limited range of things, okay? It's not a replacement for it, you know, but if you have other types of things, and if there's ever a question, hey, what can I use on that one? You can go with your Brilliance and it'll practically work on anything. Okay, so on this right here, I flanked my initial impression with this on the left-hand, the right-hand side and the left-hand side, okay? Just re-ink when you go, stamp, and then ink up this side and overlap. Overlap by about a 1/4 inch or so. You know, it's not like this real kind of super particular type of overlap. Like I have to get it matched up perfectly, like a jigsaw puzzle or something. It's not like that at all. Overlap a good amount, and it'll look nice and seamless. But look at what we have here now. 3 images, and look at that visual like that. Isn't that incredible? You can stamp something, you know, word stamp up here if you want to, or you can put some birds up here if you want to. Whatever you want to do. I'm going to keep this really simple, though, to keep this really fast and easy to do. Okay, now what do you do on the outside of a card? Now you could, like I said, you can write things to people in here. I love it written down here because it looks like it's floating on the water, or like a quote stamp. If you do that, I would do it in like a white ink or something like that. Or if you're going to write something down here, I'd write it in a white paint pen or something like that. Okay. But what you do is you put what you put on the interior on the exterior here. I'm just going to go with a real simple thing. Now, I mean, the outside is going to, you know, we really could use something. I would put a little bit of tone around this or something like that. But I just want to keep this really simple. And you can decide on what you want to do on your perimeter here. Or, you know, just to embellish this front portion here. But I would keep things fairly simple because it kind of creates this kind of interesting progression when you're doing something kind of simple on the outside. And then you open it up to this big, huge climactic, you know, stunning visual on the inside. Okay, so like it's the landscape's most beautiful and expressive feature. It's Earth's eye looking into which the beholder measures the depth of his own nature. I love that. A couple leaves out here or something like that, or you can put some tone around it, you know, and color if you want to. But here's the thing I think I'm going to do too. Back here, I think I'm going to go with a little fish like this down here. Anything kind of lake-ish or something would be kind of cool. And let's see if this pen's working here. Oh, here, let me go with here's an acrylic paint pen. I'm gonna do this after I do this. The acrylic paint pen might take a minute or two to dry. Okay, here's the thing about this. This is a vinyl sticker paper, and when I peel this whole thing off and it's all sticker, I have a hard time getting it positioned directly in here and laid down perfectly. It's really aggressive sticker paper. It's great because you can stick this on the outside of like a mug or a glass or something like that, even if you want to. But I'm just going to use my tape runner here, okay? And we'll go with that. Now this is going to be easier for me to apply right here. What I do is I fold this over like this so that I can butt it right up against that area right here. Oh, I forgot to do something. One thing that I like to do too, so that I don't have this white space in between there if I don't get it perfectly matched up, is I run a, I don't see my, I moved my Sharpie pen somewhere. Actually, here we go. Okay, so I have like a Sharpie type of pen, and I put this little Sharpie pen line right in here like this. So that if these two components here don't match up perfectly, I don't have this white line running in between the two of them. And you won't really see that black line in there. All right, now we fold this way now, okay? And then we butt that right up against there. Try to get it matched up as best as you can. Tack down like so. And then we have this quote on the outside like that. I can't get that folded up here. I missed here a little bit, so what I usually do is I put this into a paper trim and I trim right here and I trim right here, because inevitably I'm off a little bit. So you can do, I mean, this looks really plain on the outside. I would do some other things, but again, I wanted to keep this really quick and easy and simple, okay? But look at this right here. Look how dramatic this is when you open it up. Look at that reflection down there. Like that. It's like the sun is rising or something like that. And you're going to get all kinds of different types of reflections. Now see this right here. I was off a little bit on this side, so you trim this off right here, this little white area exposed. And I'm a little bit off on this side, so I'll have to take off like 1/8 of an inch on both sides, and it'll come up nice and flush. Okay, so right here, I'm just going to put underneath here. Yeah, like I said, you can use all kinds of other colors on this outside too. Blue would have been cool or something like that rather than just white. Let's see, I'm seeing if I have a permanent extra fine. On my desk here, I don't use that too often. I'm using my this pen for the first time here. Should I use black or should I use something else? Maybe I'll go with like a light blue or no, I don't know. You'll be able to see this one easier, so I'll just go. So it's a little sequential piece. I've smudged this all around, but like I said, it needs a little bit of something. So you have this right here, first, second, and then you have your third portion right there. Like I said, add something, spruce it up a little bit, It could use a little bit of something out there. A little bit of something. I would keep it like kind of minimal though, because again, you keep something really basic or something like that out here, and you open it up like this. Or this would be kind of cool if it was maybe embossed in silver or something like that, because it would match this silver kind of portion down here. Or you can just stamp this out in like a silver pigment ink or something like that too if you want to. It'd create a little bit of continuity, or you can do the fish in silver or something like that. That'd be kind of cool. Anyways, quick and easy, super dynamic, and practically moving and three-dimensional in my opinion. I guess it is three-dimensional because this is set like this, but it almost looks kind of pop-up in a way. And it almost looks like you've added some sort of like, I don't know, monitor into your screen, into your scene right here, like a TV monitor showing kind of a cool moving sky graphic like that. And then it's mirrored in the center, section down here. Fast and easy, cheap and easy. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed it.